Beloved listeners, today I speak of a truth that has been hidden in plain sight, a truth so powerful that it can transform lives overnight. The truth is this: money miracles are not rare accidents. They are divine laws in action. Every word you speak is a decree. Speak lack, and lack will obey you. Speak wealth, and wealth will bow before you. The universe does not argue, it echoes. When you declare, I am divinely supplied, the unseen begins to move, doors swing open, opportunities appear, and channels of money begin to flow. Understand this: money is not a cruel master to be chased. Money is an obedient servant that comes to those who claim it by faith. Too long have people believed that sweat, struggle, and endless toil are the only way to wealth. No, struggle is not the language of miracles. Faith is. The law is simple. What you expect with certainty, you attract. Expect lack, and lack arrives. Expect miracles, and miracles unfold before your eyes. But first, you must shatter the old beliefs. The voice that whispers money is scarce is a lie. The thought that says I am not worthy of wealth is an illusion. Your worth is not measured by your bank account, but by your divine inheritance. You were born rich in spirit, and when you remember this, money answers. There is divine order in all things. Just as rivers flow to the sea, so does money flow to those aligned with truth. Do not force, do not fear, do not chase, instead align. Say with conviction, the divine order now governs my finances, and money flows to me in perfect ways. When fear rises, substitute it with faith. Fear is poverty's ally. Faith is abundance's shield. Every fearful thought must be replaced instantly. I walk in the wealth of divine supply. These words are not mere affirmations. They are commands to the invisible. And remember this eternal law: money must circulate. The miser's fist holds nothing. The generous hand is never empty. Give with joy, and money returns multiplied. Every coin released in love comes back in showers of gold. Listen also to the still small voice within. Intuition is the compass that points to your financial miracles. A whisper may tell you, apply here, invest there, call this person. Obey, and you will find yourself standing at the door of abundance. Gratitude, my friends, is the key that unlocks heaven's vault. Give thanks for the smallest blessings, and the greater will rush to you. Say, thank you for the money I have. Thank you for the supply on its way. And soon you will find miracles in your mailbox, in your bank account, in your very hands. Above all, have faith in sudden and unexpected supply. Do not limit the divine with your logic. Money can appear in ways you never imagined. A forgotten debt repaid, a new job offered, a gift received, an opportunity discovered. Life is full of surprises for those who believe. So stand tall today and declare with unwavering voice, I am open to money miracles. I am guided, I am supplied, I am rich in divine abundance. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways, and I receive it with joy and gratitude. And as you speak it, so it is. Every word you speak is a seed, a living vibration that sets in motion the unseen forces of the universe. And when you speak of lack, you create lack, but when you speak of wealth, you draw wealth into your experience as surely as the earth draws rain from the sky. For the universe does not argue with you, it reflects you. It mirrors your belief and gives back in kind what you dare to affirm with conviction and faith. And so when you open your mouth to declare I am divinely supplied, I am surrounded by abundance, I live in the richness of life itself, those words begin to gather substance. They begin to form channels. They begin to call forth opportunities that otherwise might have passed you by, because words are not idle, words are power, words are miracles waiting to take form. Money is not a cruel master to be feared or chased endlessly. Money is a servant, an obedient and willing instrument that bends itself to your consciousness. And when you treat it as such, when you stop seeing money as something distant, difficult, and scarce, it begins to flow toward you more freely, because money is not just paper or coins or numbers on a screen. Money is energy, money is vibration, money is movement, and it flows where it is welcomed, it flows where it is honored, it flows where the vibration of expectation has opened the door wide. The mistake so many make is to believe money must be chased, that it only comes by struggle, sweat, and endless labor. But in truth, the richest miracles come not by strain, but by alignment, not by fear, but by faith. Not by desperation, but by calm expectation that the supply is already yours, that it is already on its way, that it already exists in the invisible, ready to appear in the visible. Think for a moment how many words of poverty people speak each day, how often they say things like money doesn't grow on trees, or I can never afford that, or life is hard and money is harder, and by speaking such words they engrave the very pattern of lack into their days. But you can break this pattern by daring to speak differently, by daring to say money comes to me easily, money comes to me joyfully, money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways, and every time those words leave your lips with faith behind them, you are summoning a miracle. You are not wishing, you are commanding, and the universe listens when faith speaks. Old beliefs must be shattered if new miracles are to be born. And among the most dangerous of these is the belief that you are unworthy of wealth. For the truth is you were born worthy, you were born into divine inheritance, you were born into a universe overflowing with supply, and when you forget your worth, you close the door. But when you remember that you are a child of abundance, you open the vaults of heaven itself. Do not carry forward the tired notions that money is evil, that wealth is selfish, that prosperity is for others but not for you. For those ideas are lies, and lies dissolve the moment you replace them with truth. And the truth is this: it is your right to be supplied, it is your right to be abundant, it is your right to live free from chains of worry about bills and debts and needs. There is divine order in all things, and money is not excluded from this order. And when you align with this truth, when you trust that supply flows in perfect timing and perfect ways, you cease to force, you cease to fear, you cease to chase, and instead you stand still and see the salvation of supply, and money begins to find its way to you with grace and ease. Declare with power, the divine order now governs my finances, and watch how doors open, how lost opportunities return, how unexpected channels appear, how the right people step into your path at the right time. Fear is the magnet of poverty, faith is the magnet of wealth. And every time you allow fear to speak unchecked, you send forth a call for lack. But the law of substitution is always ready to work in your favor. For every fear can be replaced with faith. Every thought of lack can be erased with an affirmation of abundance. Every dark picture can be covered by a bright vision. Say it when fear whispers, I walk in the wealth of divine supply. I move in the river of abundance. I stand in the light of prosperity, and those words will silence the old voices of fear until only faith remains. And remember always that money must circulate, for stagnation is death, but circulation is life. And when you give freely, joyfully, confidently, without clinging to the coin as if it were your last, you set in motion a cycle that returns to you multiplied. The miser may hoard, but the miser's hoard grows stagnant, while the generous heart sees money return on every wave, sees opportunities grow from every seed sown, sees abundance multiply with every act of giving. Release with joy, and money will never cease to find you. Your intuition, too, is a compass pointing to miracles, for within you is a voice that knows the way, a voice that whispers, apply here, call there, speak to this person, turn in this direction. And if you obey that still small voice, it will lead you to golden opportunities, to divine appointments, to doors you never knew existed, and behind you, those doors will stand your financial blessings, ready, waiting, eager to appear in your life. Do not forget gratitude, for gratitude is a magnet stronger than gold. Gratitude is the multiplier of blessings. Gratitude is the song that calls forth abundance from every corner of the universe. Give thanks not only when the great sums appear, but also for the small coins, the little opportunities, the modest beginnings. For gratitude for the small attracts the great, and gratitude for today prepares the harvest of tomorrow. Say often, thank you for the money I have, thank you for the supply on its way. Thank you for the unseen blessings now rushing toward me, and soon you will see those blessings made visible. And above all, hold fast to the faith that supply comes not only in slow, steady trickles, but also in sudden and unexpected floods. For money, miracles often appear when least expected, in ways you could not have planned, in forms you could not have imagined. And if you limit the divine with your logic, you close the gate. But if you trust in sudden and unexpected supply, you open yourself to wonders beyond your comprehension. Life has ways of surprising you, of placing checks in your hand, of bringing forgotten debts repaid, of offering jobs, contracts, gifts, and opportunities, and all these are but channels of the one source, and that source is endless. Stand therefore today and declare with all the conviction of your soul, I am open to money miracles, I am guided, I am supplied, I am rich in divine abundance. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways, and I receive it with joy and gratitude. And as these words move through you, as they gather substance in the unseen, so they will shape your reality, so they will bring forth your miracle, so they will flood your life with the richness that has always been your birthright. For money is not a stranger, money is your servant, money is your friend, and money miracles are already waiting for you to claim them. Expectation is the golden key that unlocks the treasury of life, for what you confidently expect, whether for good or ill, arrives at your door without fail, and this is no accident, no coincidence, no random stroke of luck, but a divine law that works with mathematical certainty. And when you grasp this truth, you begin to see that miracles of money are not only possible, inevitable for the one who dares to expect them. The world has taught so many to expect struggle, to expect disappointment, to expect that things will go wrong, and because expectation shapes reality, that is exactly what unfolds before them. But the moment you shift your inner gaze, the moment you dare to expect good instead of evil, prosperity instead of poverty, increase instead of decline, that very moment the tide begins to turn, the atmosphere begins to shift, and money miracles start moving toward you in ways you cannot yet see. Expectation is faith in motion. It is belief dressed in anticipation. It is the invisible magnet that draws visible results. And when you wake each morning with a sense of joyful expectancy that this day holds blessings for you, that this day will reveal new opportunities, that this day will surprise you with financial good, you begin to walk in rhythm. With the law of supply, you begin to call forth money miracles with your very attitude. The doubter says, I will believe it when I see it, but the expectant soul knows I will see it because I believe it. I will experience it because I anticipate it. I will receive it because I have already welcomed it in thought and word. Think of expectation as a lens, for whatever you expect to see is what you notice, what you attract, what you draw into your orbit. Two people may walk the same street, one expecting lack, one expecting abundance, and though the street is the same, their experiences are worlds apart. The one who expects lack finds every reminder of poverty, notices every closed door, meets only resistance and rejection, while the one who expects abundance notices the opportunities others pass by, meets the right people, stumbles into the right conversations, hears the right piece of advice, and turns the same street into a river of possibilities. Such is the power of expectation. It filters your reality. It selects your experiences. It opens or closes the gates of abundance depending on what you hold within. Expectation is not mere wishing. It is not idle daydreaming. It is not the weak hope that maybe something good might happen. It is the confident stance that declares, I know money is coming. I know supply is on its way. I know the universe is arranging my good right now, and I open my hands to receive it. To expect is to prepare. To prepare is to believe, and to believe is to magnetize. If you truly expect the check in the mail, you will look for it, you will anticipate it, you will open the envelope with joy, and in the very act of expecting you prepare the channel through which the supply arrives. How many have shut out miracles simply because they expected none? How many doors have remained closed because one assumed they could never open? How many blessings have lingered at the threshold because the heart inside had no expectation of their arrival? But you can turn the tide instantly by daring to expect, daring to say, "This is the day of my good," daring to believe money, miracles are waiting for me now, daring to anticipate sudden supply, unexpected opportunities, and divine provision. The act of expecting shifts your vibration from doubt to certainty, from fear to confidence, from lack to abundance, and the universe responds to that vibration with precision. Expectation also creates alignment, for when you expect supply, you act differently, you speak differently, you walk differently. You no longer carry yourself like one defeated or deprived. You carry yourself like one who knows wealth belongs to them, like one who knows good is their right, like one who knows miracles are inevitable. This shift in posture, in tone, in energy attracts others to you. It draws respect. It inspires trust. It creates opportunities, for the world is magnetized to the confident, and nothing builds confidence like expectation. Do not underestimate the subtle power of this law. A person who expects delay will meet delay at every turn. A person who expects rejection will find rejection wherever they go. A person who expects bills without money to cover them will see exactly that unfold. But the one who expects payment in full, who expects provision before the deadline, who expects increase instead of decrease, will see money appear from unexpected channels, will find debts erased, will discover opportunities just in time, for expectation bends reality to meet its picture. Expectation is not bound by logic or by the limits of reason, for miracles are not reasonable, they are supernatural, and expectation works in that higher realm. Logic may say there is no way money can come today, but expectation knows 1,000 ways unknown to logic. Logic may say your opportunities are gone, but expectation knows that divine supply has endless channels. Logic may say your situation is impossible, but expectation whispers all things are possible to the one who believes, and so expectation stretches beyond the natural into the realm of miracles, drawing down blessings from the unseen into the seen. When you wake in the morning, do not expect the same dull routine, expect a miracle. When you go about your work, do not expect only wages, expect increase, expect bonuses, expect promotions, expect surprise gifts, expect money to find you in ways beyond your imagining. Say it often. I expect money miracles, I expect divine supply, I expect sudden increase, and let that expectation color your thoughts, your words, your outlook, until every fiber of your being vibrates with readiness to receive. The law is faithful, and it cannot fail. Expectation creates, expectation attracts, expectation reveals, and when you align with this law, your life becomes a testimony that money miracles are not rare. They are the natural result of a heart that dares to expect them. Money is not merely metal, paper, or numbers written on a screen. It is living energy, a current that flows through life as naturally as water flows through a river. And when you understand money as energy, you begin to see why struggle, fear, and endless toil are not the true paths to wealth. For energy does not respond to force, it responds to harmony, it responds to alignment, it responds to the vibration of faith and gratitude. People have been taught for generations that money is scarce, that it must be fought for, hoarded, and clung to with trembling hands, and so they live in tension, in anxiety, in constant struggle. But the truth is that money is a form of supply, and supply is infinite. And when you shift your consciousness from struggle to flow, from fear to faith, from clutching to releasing, money begins to move toward you with grace and ease. Think of electricity. You do not beg it, you do not strain to create it by sheer willpower. You align with it, you connect to its source, and instantly power flows. So it is with money. Money is energy, and when you align your thoughts, your words, and your beliefs with abundance, the energy of money flows into your experience. But if you live in fear, if you repeat words of lack, if you see money as something outside of you that must be chased down, you create a resistance, a blockage, and the current cannot flow. The universe is not limited, the supply is not limited, only the channel of the mind can be limited, and when you open that channel wide with gratitude, with expectancy, with trust, the energy of money rushes in like a river, filling an empty stream. The struggle for money is a creation of human belief, not divine law. The divine never designed life to be endless toil and labor for the barest survival. The divine intention was always flow, always circulation, always supply in abundance, just as the trees grow without struggle, just as the rivers run without effort, just as the stars shine without strain. It is only the human belief in scarcity that has twisted money into something difficult. But when that belief is replaced with truth, when you see that money is simply energy responding to thought, responding to vibration, responding to the expectancy of good, you discover that you do not need to force or chase, you need only to align. Money energy is magnetic. It responds to the frequency you hold. If you hold the vibration of fear, of desperation, of lack, the energy of money repels. It cannot find its way to you because your signal is set on the wrong channel. But if you hold the vibration of joy, of confidence, of gratitude, of expectation, the energy of money is drawn to you naturally, irresistibly, because energy seeks harmony, and abundance harmonizes with abundance. That is why those who seem to have often attract more, while those who fear they have nothing often experience continual lack. It is not a matter of fairness or unfairness. It is a matter of vibration, of energy matching energy. But the law works for anyone who dares to change the signal, anyone who dares to stop struggling and start aligning. Do not mistake this truth as a call to laziness, for energy flows where it is welcomed, and action is one of the channels. But the difference is that aligned action is joyful, inspired, guided, while struggle is fearful, desperate, forced. When you see money and energy, your work ceases to be a burden and becomes a channel, a joyful channel through which energy flows. You no longer work to survive, you work to express, you work to create, you work to open doors through which money energy can move toward you. And the more joy you bring to the work, the more open the channel becomes, the more freely the energy flows. Look at nature and see how energy moves. The river does not struggle to flow downhill, it follows the path of least resistance. The tree does not strain to grow, it simply stretches toward the sun. The birds do not toil for their song. They release it naturally, effortlessly, and in the same way, money energy is meant to move through your life naturally, without strain, without fear, without the endless tension that so many carry about finances. When you drop the belief that money must be hard, you allow it to become easy. When you release the belief that you must chase it endlessly, you allow it to come to you. Money energy is not moral or immoral. It is not good or bad. It is neutral like electricity, and it takes on the form of how it is used. In the hands of fear, it can be destructive. In the hands of love, it becomes creative, generous, uplifting. The energy itself is pure, and the more you align with love, with joy, with giving, the more that energy multiplies, the more it finds ways to flow back to you, because the law of circulation is unbreakable. What you release in love returns to you multiplied. What you clutch in fear diminishes, what you circulate freely grows. That is why gratitude is so powerful, for gratitude raises your vibration to match the energy of abundance, and the moment you match that energy, the flow begins. Gratitude for even the smallest coin welcomes more. Gratitude for every bill paid prepares the way for greater supply. Gratitude for unexpected gifts and opportunities keeps the channel open wide. The grateful heart never lacks because gratitude harmonizes perfectly with the vibration of money energy. And so the secret is this: money is not to be struggled for, not to be feared, not to be chased, but to be aligned with. Speak words of abundance and you align. Expect miracles and you align. Give joyfully and you align. Follow intuition and you align. And the more you align, the more the energy of money rushes in, not in trickles but in floods, not as rare accidents but as constant supply. Money miracles are nothing but the natural result of aligning with the energy that was always present, always available, always ready to flow to the one who knows the truth. Money is energy, not struggle, and when you live in harmony with that energy, wealth becomes as natural as the sun rising, as effortless as the river flowing, as constant as the stars shining in the sky. Limiting beliefs about money are the invisible chains that hold people in poverty even when opportunities surround them. They are the walls that block abundance from entering, and they are the silent saboteurs that keep miracles from flowing freely. For For what one believes deep in the heart becomes the mold into which life must pour itself, and until those false beliefs are broken, no amount of effort can truly set one free. From childhood, people are taught ideas that seem harmless but grow into powerful barriers. Sayings like money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy, or life is hard and money is harder. These phrases slip past the conscious mind and root themselves in the subconscious, and once rooted they act as laws, shaping reality again and again. A person may work tirelessly, may have skills, may even see opportunities, but if deep within they hold the belief that they are unworthy of wealth or that money is evil, then their own mind will repel the very abundance they long for. To destroy limiting beliefs is to tear down the prison walls of the mind, for poverty is not merely a condition of the wallet. It is first a condition of thought, and when the thought changes, the outer world begins to rearrange itself. Consider the person who believes that money is scarce, that there is never enough, that wealth belongs to others but not them. That belief colors every choice, every action, every word, and as they expect scarcity, they continue to live in scarcity. But the moment they dare to say there is always more than enough, supply is infinite, opportunities are everywhere, suddenly the mind opens, and what once seemed impossible begins to appear with ease. One of the most dangerous beliefs is the lie that money is hard to come by. When people accept this, they unknowingly push miracles away, because they believe that wealth can only arrive through pain, sweat, and endless struggle. Yet look around. There are countless examples of money arriving unexpectedly, effortlessly, through gifts, through opportunities, through sudden promotions, through forgotten debts repaid. Money is energy, and energy does not need to be forced. It flows when the path is open. But if you believe it must be hard, then hard it becomes, because the universe is echoing your conviction. To destroy this belief, you must declare daily, money comes to me easily, money comes to me joyfully, money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways, and as those words take root, the old belief begins to crumble. Another crippling belief is that wanting money is selfish or greedy. How many have turned away from abundance because they feared being judged, because they believed that wealth would corrupt them, because they were told that good people must be poor? But the truth is that money itself is neutral, like air, like water. Like fire, it is not good or bad, it simply takes on the character of the one who holds it. In the hands of love, money builds schools, feeds the hungry, heals the sick, uplifts families. In the hands of fear, money can harm, but the energy itself is pure, and there is no virtue in poverty. You were not born to struggle endlessly. You were born to live in abundance, to circulate wealth, to express generosity. Destroy this belief by affirming, I am worthy of wealth, and I use it for good. Wealth flows to me, and through me it blesses the world. Perhaps the most subtle belief is the whisper of unworthiness, the thought that says I don't deserve wealth, I don't deserve abundance, I don't deserve miracles. This belief is poison, for it cuts you off from your divine inheritance. Worthiness is not something you earn, it is something you are. The sun does not shine because it deserves to shine, it shines because shining is its nature. You are a child of infinite supply, and abundance is your birthright. Destroy this lie of unworthiness by declaring, I am worthy of wealth, I am open to miracles, I am a magnet for divine supply. The more you repeat it, the more the truth dissolves the old lie, and as your sense of worth rises, so does your experience of abundance. The belief in limitation must also be shattered. People look at their salary, at their bank account, at their circumstances, and they believe that is all there is. They say, this is my lot, this is my limit, this is as much as I can ever have. But the divine is limitless, supply is endless, channels are infinite, and money can flow from directions you have not yet imagined. To believe in limitation is to close the door on miracles, to say to the universe, I want no more than this. But when you open your mind to infinite possibilities, you open channels for blessings you never dreamed of. Replace the belief in limitation with the affirmation, infinite supply flows through me, limitless wealth is mine. Money comes to me from sources seen and unseen. Some believe that money once gained will slip away, that wealth cannot last, that prosperity is fleeting, and so they live in fear, always waiting for the loss, always bracing for the downfall, and their fear becomes prophecy. But this too is a lie, for what is received in faith can be held in faith, and what is built in truth cannot crumble. Divine does not bless you to abandon you. Supply is constant, faithful, and unending. Replace this belief with the affirmation, my wealth is secure in divine hands. My supply is constant, money multiplies in my life, and nothing can take it from me. To destroy limiting beliefs is not to fight them endlessly, but to replace them with truth, for what you focus on expands, and when you stop feeding the old lies and start feeding the new affirmations, the lies starve and dissolve. It is not enough to simply deny the false. You must affirm the true, and affirm it with faith, with confidence, with expectation. Say often, I am rich in mind and spirit, I am divinely supplied, I live in abundance now. And as you speak these words, the old beliefs lose their grip, the chains fall away, the prison doors swing open. When the limiting beliefs are destroyed, miracles flow naturally. Suddenly money appears where it once seemed impossible, opportunities present themselves without effort, gifts arrive unexpectedly, debts are cleared, doors open. The world outside changes because the world inside has changed. The great truth is that abundance was always there, always waiting, always ready, but it was the belief in lack that blinded the eyes. Once the belief is gone, the miracle is seen. So destroy the limiting beliefs, tear them out by the roots, replace them with words of truth, plant in their place seeds of abundance, and water them daily with faith and gratitude. For your outer life can rise no higher than your inner belief, and when your belief becomes abundance, your life becomes abundance. When your belief becomes wealth, your life becomes wealth. When your belief becomes miracles, your life becomes a living testimony that money miracles are real and they are yours. Words are living forces, and when you speak them with conviction, they become the architects of your destiny. Every word you utter sends out vibrations into the unseen realm, and those vibrations return to you magnified. If you are careless with your speech, you will unknowingly lock yourself into chains of lack and limitation. But if you are deliberate with your words, you hold in your hands the keys to unlock wealth, abundance, and financial miracles. The spoken word is not mere sound. It is spirit clothed in language. It is thought made visible, and it is energy given direction. Every time you affirm prosperity, you are summoning unseen forces that move mountains in your favor. There are people who go through life wondering why money never stays with them, why opportunities slip away, why abundance seems to knock but never enter. And yet, if you were to listen to their words, you would quickly see the reason. They speak defeat, they affirm lack, they confess worry, and they declare limitation. They say things like, I can't afford this, or money is hard to come by, or I'm always broke. They do not realize that these affirmations are as powerful as the affirmations of wealth, except they work in the opposite direction. Words of limitation create conditions of limitation. Words of abundance create rivers of abundance. The choice is always in the tongue, and the tongue is a mighty weapon that can build or destroy. When you begin to affirm wealth, you are not simply wishing or pretending. You are setting in motion a law as real as gravity, a law that does not discriminate. Affirmations plant seeds, and every seed grows after its own kind. If you affirm poverty, you reap poverty. If you affirm wealth, you reap wealth. This is not magic, it is law. The soil of the subconscious mind cannot reject a seed. It must bring forth according to the word that is spoken into it. Therefore, you must guard your words as you would guard treasure, for indeed, words are treasure in themselves. Let me tell you this, there is tremendous power in declaring, I am wealthy. I am prosperous. Money flows to me in miraculous ways. Some may scoff and say, but if I do not see the money now, how can I say it? And yet, this is precisely why they remain bound in lack. You must speak the word before you see the manifestation. You must declare the harvest before you see the first sprout of green. Faith does not wait for evidence, it creates the evidence. The world tells you to believe after you see. The law of spirit tells you to believe so that you may see. Affirmations are the language of belief. They are the voice of expectation. They are the song of faith sung into the invisible. Consider a man who wakes each day and begins his morning with words of abundance. He does not say, I hope Money comes today. He says, money flows to me today from expected and unexpected channels. My wealth is secure, my income increases, and I live in abundance. As he repeats these affirmations, he is shaping his reality. His subconscious begins to align with the words. His actions begin to follow the rhythm of his speech. His eyes begin to notice opportunities that were hidden before. His faith gives him courage to act where he once hesitated. His vibration attracts those who can bless him and the circumstances that will enrich him. What began as a simple affirmation has become a miracle in motion. Now consider another man who wakes each day with groans of despair. He mutters, "I'm tired, I'm broke. Nothing ever works for me." His words too are affirmations, but affirmations of defeat. His subconscious aligns with them. His energy sinks, his eyes grow blind to opportunity. His courage shrinks, and he attracts more of what he declares. Do you see? Both men use affirmations. One affirms abundance and receives it. The other affirms lack and receives it. The law is impartial, but the result is determined by the seed. So the challenge is not whether affirmations work, but what you are affirming each day. Are you affirming fear, or are you affirming faith? Are you affirming poverty, or are you affirming wealth? The river flows where you direct it, and your words are the channel. If you wish to unlock money miracles, discipline your tongue. Refuse to speak lack even for a moment. Refuse to joke about poverty. Refuse to claim limitation. Refuse to declare defeat. Train your lips to speak only abundance, only prosperity, only success, only victory. For what you continually affirm, you will continually attract. Think of affirmations as golden keys that unlock doors. Each word you speak with faith is a key turning in the lock of abundance. Every time you say, "I am wealthy," you open another door. Every time you say, "Money comes to me easily," you swing wide a gate. Every time you say, "I am blessed with prosperity," you invite miracles into your home. Do not underestimate the repetition of these affirmations. Just as drops of water wear away stone, your daily words carve out rivers of wealth through the hardest barriers of lack. Consistency is the secret. Repetition is the hammer that breaks the wall, and do not speak them idly. Feel them as you say them. Let your affirmations carry the vibration of certainty, the emotion of belief, the spirit of gratitude. When you declare, "I am prosperous," say it with the tone of one who already possesses prosperity. When you affirm, "Money flows to me," feel the joy of that flow in your body. Let your imagination picture the abundance as if it were already here. For affirmations are not only words but seeds charged with the electricity of emotion, and emotion quickens manifestation. Affirmations are the bridge between the invisible and the visible. They are the way the unseen becomes seen, the way thought becomes thing. Every empire, every fortune, every success began with words spoken into the air and believed with the heart. If you would see money miracles, you must speak them into existence and believe that what you speak is already yours. Do not let doubt whisper otherwise, for doubt is simply a counterfeit affirmation in disguise. Speak the truth of abundance until it silences the lie of lack. Yes, the power of affirmations unlocks wealth, but it is not enough to speak them once or twice. They must become the song of your life, the melody of your days, the rhythm of your speech. Let your conversations be filled with prosperity. Let your thoughts echo abundance. Let your words ring with wealth. Soon the world around you will begin to mirror the affirmations within you. Money will flow, opportunities will abound, and miracles will unfold, all because you dared to speak abundance into existence. Gratitude is the open door through which every blessing enters. When the heart is filled with thanksgiving, it becomes a magnet for abundance, a vessel that overflows with riches seen and unseen. Many people chase money with desperation, thinking that anxiety and struggle will somehow summon wealth into their lives. They do not realize that money is not attracted to worry, but to gratitude, not to fear, but to joy, not to lack, but to appreciation. Gratitude is the vibration of wealth itself, and when you live in thanksgiving, you align yourself with the rhythm of prosperity. There are those who say, "How can I be grateful when I do not yet see what I want?" And yet, That is the very reason they remain where they are. Gratitude is not a reaction, it is a creative force. It does not wait for the gift to arrive before it rejoices so that the gift must arrive. When you give thanks in advance, you are proclaiming faith. You are declaring that the universe has already heard your request and is moving to deliver it. Thanksgiving seals the prayer, gratitude quickens the manifestation, appreciation unlocks the miracle. Think of a person who receives even a small coin and immediately says, "Thank you, I am blessed." That person will soon find themselves entrusted with greater sums, for their gratitude multiplies the little until it becomes much. The one who despises small beginnings, who scorns the little they have, who says, "This is nothing, I need more," will find that what they have slips away, for ingratitude closes the hand and shuts the flow. Gratitude, on the other hand, opens the hand wide and invites increase. It is the soil in which the seeds of wealth take root and flourish. Gratitude changes the atmosphere around you. When you wake in the morning with thanks, when you move through the day appreciating what you have, your spirit radiates abundance. People are drawn to you, opportunities are attracted to you, and doors open before you. Gratitude is a fragrance that carries far, touching those around you and calling forth blessings from unexpected sources. The grateful soul becomes a beacon that wealth cannot resist. There is a mystery here. Gratitude multiplies what it touches. Take any situation, no matter how small, no matter how modest, and clothe it in thanksgiving. Soon you will see it expand. Give thanks for the money in your hand, no matter how little, and you will attract more. Give thanks for the opportunities before you, even if they seem insignificant, and they will lead to greater ones. Give thanks for the bills you can pay, and soon you will have the means to pay them all with ease. Gratitude is not passive. It is a force that calls increase from the unseen into the seen. Some may argue, "But I do not yet have wealth. Why should I be grateful for what is not here?" The answer is simple. The wealth is already here in the invisible, waiting for your thanksgiving to draw it into form. To say thank you in advance is to affirm that it is done, that the supply exists, that the law is working for you. Gratitude is the language of faith, and faith is the currency of miracles. When you give thanks for what you do not yet see, you are planting the seed that ensures you will see it. Gratitude also transforms the mind. A person filled with thanksgiving cannot be simultaneously filled with worry. A thankful heart silences the whispers of fear, calms the storm of doubt, and focuses the eyes on possibilities rather than problems. Gratitude raises your vibration to match the frequency of abundance. When you are grateful, you see opportunities others miss, you hear ideas others ignore, you notice doors others overlook. Gratitude sharpens vision and tunes perception to the rhythm of success. Consider a wealthy man who always begins his day by giving thanks for his health, his home, his work, his friends, and his finances. He does not take them for granted, he treasures them with gratitude. This continual thanksgiving keeps him in harmony with wealth, and so his riches continue to grow. Now consider another man who grumbles each morning, complaining about what he lacks, resenting what he owes, despising what little he has. His ingratitude chokes his blessings. Even when opportunities come, he cannot see them, and what he has begins to wither. The difference between these two men is not luck but gratitude. Gratitude also heals the relationship between you and money itself. Many people secretly resent money, fearing it, mistrusting it, believing it corrupts or controls. They may say they want more, but inwardly they curse it. How can money dwell with someone who despises it? Gratitude changes this. When you begin to give thanks for money, for the ways it serves you, for the doors it opens, for the blessings it brings, you create harmony with it. Money begins to feel welcome in your life, and like a trusted friend, it stays. Gratitude makes money your ally rather than your adversary. There is also great power in expressing gratitude not just silently but aloud. Speak your thanks. Say daily, "Thank you for the money that flows to me. Thank you for the abundance I see, and the abundance I do not yet see. Thank you for the blessings that surround me." Each word of thanksgiving releases waves of power. Each spoken gratitude summons invisible resources. The more you give thanks, the more you will have to give thanks for. Gratitude is the gateway because it opens the heart wide to receive. A closed heart cannot welcome wealth, but a thankful heart is forever open. Gratitude removes bitterness, dissolves envy, and replaces despair with hope. It makes room for the miracle to enter. If you wish to see financial blessings multiply in your life, begin by multiplying your thanksgiving. Count your blessings daily and speak your thanks with joy. Soon you will find that your gratitude has called forth more than you could have imagined, and your life will overflow with financial miracles. Fear and doubt are the thieves of abundance, the silent barriers that block the flow of money into one's life. They whisper lies to the heart, convincing people that prosperity is impossible, that wealth is scarce, that opportunities will pass them by. Fear says, "What if you fail?" Doubt says, "What if it doesn't work?" And together they build invisible walls around the soul, walls that keep out the very blessings waiting to be received. Money, like every form of abundance, flows freely, but fear and doubt create dams in the stream, preventing it from reaching those who desire it most. To unlock the flow, the inner chains must be broken. Many people pray for wealth, they work tirelessly for success. They affirm abundance with their lips, yet they secretly harbor fear in their hearts. They fear that money will not come. They fear that even if it does, it will not stay. They fear that loss is inevitable. That failure lurks behind every opportunity, and because fear is faith inverted, it creates the very thing it dreads. The fearful soul imagines disaster, and disaster comes. The doubtful mind expects lack, and lack appears. The anxious heart believes in loss, and loss is attracted. It is not punishment but law, for thought is magnetic, and fear is simply magnetic energy pulling in scarcity. But when fear and doubt are removed, the channel of money flows wide open. Without fear, faith rises. Without doubt, confidence takes root. Without anxiety, peace reigns, and peace is the perfect environment for prosperity. Wealth is not born in worry, but in trust. Money is not attracted to fear, but to faith-filled expectation. When one walks boldly, believing that all needs are already met, the universe aligns circumstances, people, and opportunities to match that belief. Removing fear and doubt is like tearing down the walls that block the river. Suddenly the water gushes forth in abundance. Consider the man who constantly fears losing his job. Every day he imagines being dismissed. Every paycheck he worries it might be his last. His fear poisons his energy, and soon his performance falters. His opportunities diminish, and what he feared becomes reality. Now consider another man who trusts that his supply is divine, that his source is limitless, that opportunities are everywhere. He does not cling in fear, but acts with confidence, and so his employers trust him. His ideas flourish and his income grows. The difference is not chance, but the presence of fear in one and the absence of fear in the other. Fear and doubt are illusions, shadows with no real substance. They have power only because we give them power. They thrive in the imagination, feeding on what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. But when confronted with faith, they vanish like mist before the rising sun. To remove fear is to replace it with truth. The truth that wealth is abundant, not scarce. The truth that supply is unlimited, not restricted. The truth that one is supported, not abandoned. When the mind holds fast to these truths, fear finds no dwelling place and money flows freely again. Some people doubt themselves, believing they are unworthy of wealth, undeserving of prosperity, incapable of success. This doubt shrinks their actions, paralyzes their courage, and sabotages their results. But worthiness is not something to be earned, it is inherent. Every soul is worthy of abundance because abundance is the natural state of life. The air does not ask whether you are worthy to breathe it. The sun does not withhold its light until you prove yourself, and rivers do not stop flowing until you achieve some measure of success. Nature gives freely and without judgment, and so does wealth, if only you remove the doubt that tells you otherwise. Fear of failure is another enemy that keeps money at bay. It prevents people from taking risks, from seizing opportunities, from stepping forward boldly. They wait, hesitate, procrastinate, and in doing so, they lose the very chances that would have enriched them. But failure itself is never the enemy, fear of it is. Failure is simply a stepping stone, a teacher, a necessary path to greater success. Once You see this, the fear dissolves and bold action becomes possible. Boldness attracts prosperity while hesitation repels it. There is also the fear of success, subtle but powerful. Some secretly fear that if they become wealthy, they will lose friends, or they will face envy, or they will not know how to handle responsibility. This fear too creates sabotage, causing them to shrink back from opportunities. Yet success does not destroy, it reveals. It amplifies what already exists. When wealth comes to a generous soul, generosity multiplies. When abundance comes to a kind heart, kindness spreads. There is nothing to fear in success, for success is simply the blossoming of potential. How then does one remove fear and doubt? By replacing them with faith, with certainty, with declarations of truth. Each time fear whispers lack, respond with affirmations of abundance. Each time doubt mutters failure, respond with affirmations of victory. Train the mind to dwell on prosperity until it forgets how to imagine defeat. Just as darkness disappears when light enters, so fear disappears when faith is spoken. Speak daily, I fear nothing, for my supply is endless. I doubt nothing, for my abundance is assured. Money flows to me freely, easily, and continuously. These affirmations dissolve the poison of fear and doubt, and soon the mind becomes a fertile field in which wealth can grow. Removing fear also requires action. Bold steps crush doubt faster than passive wishing. Take action toward your goals. Move forward despite uncertainty, walk into opportunities with courage. Every bold step is a declaration that fear has no power over you. With each step, confidence grows, fear weakens, and the flow of money strengthens. Abundance belongs to the courageous, not because they are better, but because courage keeps the channel open, and gratitude, too, is an antidote to fear. When you focus on what you already have and give thanks, fear loses its grip. Fear always dwells in what is lacking, but gratitude dwells in what is present. By shifting your attention to blessings, by appreciating every gift, you starve fear of its power and nourish faith instead. Gratitude and fear cannot occupy the same space. When one enters, the other leaves. So remember, money flows where fear is absent and doubt is silent. Fear blocks, doubt delays, but faith and confidence unlock. The moment you release fear, the moment you let go of doubt, you open the floodgates of abundance. Wealth begins to appear from directions you never expected. Opportunities align as if drawn by invisible threads. The flow that was always there rushes into your life because you no longer resist it. Removing fear. Doubt is not only about peace of mind, it is the very key that unlocks money miracles. Money is not just paper, coins, or numbers on a screen. It is energy, it is movement, it is circulation. It is like the blood in the body, meant to flow, to nourish, to keep life alive and vibrant. When it stops moving, when it is hoarded in fear or withheld in stinginess, it loses its vitality. But when it moves freely, when it is given and received with joy, it multiplies, it expands, it returns in greater measure. Giving and receiving are not opposites but partners in the great dance of abundance, and together they create a rhythm that draws miracles into your financial life. So many live under the illusion that the way to have more is to cling tighter, to hold on, to withhold, to guard every coin with clenched fists. They fear that if they give, they will lose. They fear that generosity will diminish them, but in truth, it is the clutched hand that is empty and the open hand that overflows. For the universe loves circulation. What you send out returns to you multiplied. When you give with joy, you declare that you are already abundant, that you trust your supply, that you believe in the endless river of provision. That declaration draws more, for life always mirrors the consciousness you hold. Think of the farmer. He does not hoard the seed in his barn, fearing that if he plants it, he will lose it. He knows that to plant is to multiply. He knows that one seed given to earth returns as 100-fold harvest. Money is the same. When you release it with trust and gratitude, it returns in greater measure. Giving is sowing, and every act of generosity plants the seed of future wealth. The miser who hoards in fear may think he is protecting his wealth, but he is only burying seed in a dark corner where it can never grow. And yet, giving is not only about money. It is also about giving time, attention, love, encouragement, ideas, and service. Every form of giving multiplies itself. When you give kindness, kindness returns to you. When you give service, opportunities return to you. When you give money, money returns to you. The law is impartial, it does not fail. What you send out is what comes back, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Receiving, too, is part of this law. Some people are willing to give but uncomfortable with receiving. They deflect compliments, they resist help, they reject gifts, all in the name of humility. But in truth, it is pride disguised as modesty. Refusing to receive interrupts the flow just as much as refusing to give. If you plant seeds but refuse to gather the harvest, you starve. So too, if you give but do not allow yourself to receive, you block the multiplication. Giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin, and abundance requires both. There is a story of a man who loved to give to others. He gave generously, but when others tried to give to him, he would always refuse. He thought this made him noble, but he wondered why his finances never improved. The answer was simple. He allowed money to flow out but not in, and so the circle of abundance remained incomplete. When he finally learned to receive with gratitude, his giving multiplied, and his financial blessing overflowed, for receiving is as sacred as giving, and to refuse it is to deny another the joy of generosity. When you give, give with joy, not with fear or reluctance. If you give grudgingly, you plant seeds of lack. But when you give cheerfully, you plant seeds of abundance. Give as though you are already rich, and you will be. Give because you trust the source of your supply, not because you fear losing it. And when you receive, receive with joy as well. Accept gifts, blessings, and opportunities with gratitude, knowing that by receiving you are keeping the flow alive. Money has a spiritual rhythm. It is not meant to stagnate but to circulate. The richest lives are not those where money piles up uselessly, but those where it moves with purpose, to bless, to uplift, to create, to serve. When you align yourself with this rhythm, you will never lack. You will find that as you give, doors open for you, and as you receive, you are empowered to give more. Abundance is not accumulation, it is circulation. There are those who fear generosity, believing that if they give, they will weaken themselves. But the opposite is true. Every act of giving affirms that you are connected to infinite supply. It says, I trust that what I release will return to me. That faith is magnetic, and it calls increase from every direction. The more you give, the more confident you become in your abundance, and the more confident you become, the more abundance flows. It is a cycle, a rising spiral that lifts you higher with each act of generosity. Even the smallest act of giving carries immense power. A coin given in faith can return as riches. A kind word spoken with love can open doors money cannot buy. Giving is not measured by the size of the gift, but by the spirit in which it is given. Widow's mite given with pure faith outweighed the gold of the wealthy given with pride. When you give, give from the heart, and the universe will weigh it not by the amount, but by the spirit, and it will return to you multiplied. And never fear that you will lack because of your generosity. Source of supply is limitless. Just as the ocean does not run dry when you take a bucket of water, your giving does not diminish the infinite. The more you give, the more you align yourself with that ocean, and the more it flows into your life. Those who live in fear of lack shut themselves off from the current. Those who live in trust and generosity become conduits through which wealth flows continually. Remember this, money is happiest when it moves. When you allow it to stagnate out of fear, it resists you. When you allow it to circulate with joy, it dances back into your life. Companions, it multiplies itself in the hands of the generous, for the generous declare by their actions, I live in abundance, I am connected to supply, I trust the universe. That declaration is irresistible to wealth, and it rushes in to confirm it. Giving and receiving are the heartbeat of prosperity. They are the inhale and exhale of abundance. You cannot only inhale, nor can you only exhale. You must do both to live, so too with money. You cannot only give or only receive. To live in wealth, you must embrace both with equal joy. Give freely, receive gladly, and let the current of prosperity carry you higher and higher, multiplying money in ways beyond your imagination. Gratitude is the golden key that unlocks the treasury of heaven. Gratitude is the invisible magnet that draws riches into your life. Gratitude is the invisible law that takes what is little and multiplies it into abundance. You see, many live in lack not because the universe has denied them, but because their eyes are fixed on what they do not have, and their hearts are filled with murmurs instead of thanksgiving. Yet the one who learns to give thanks for the little in hand will soon see that little grow beyond measure. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a powerful spiritual force that aligns you with the highest vibration of prosperity. When you give thanks, you acknowledge the presence of good already in your life. And the law of life is simple: what you acknowledge expands, what you appreciates, and what you are grateful for multiplies. The world often teaches to wait until you have something big before you celebrate it. But the spiritual law is the opposite. Celebrate. The small celebrate. The crumbs celebrate the breath you take in this moment. And you will soon be feasting at the banquet of abundance. A person who receives a small coin and says with joy, "This is evidence that money is flowing to me," will attract rivers of gold, while another who despises the coin, saying, "This is too little to matter," shuts the door on future supply. The attitude of gratitude is like opening the windows of heaven so that the light of prosperity can pour in without resistance. Think of the farmer who plants a single seed. He does not curse the seed for being small. He does not despise it because it is not yet a field of wheat. Instead, he rejoices in the seed, knowing it carries the promise of harvest. Gratitude works the same way. It looks at the seed in your hand and gives thanks as if the harvest were already here. And when you live in that energy, the harvest cannot help but come to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. There is a hidden miracle in giving thanks even before the blessing arrives. Many pray with anxiety, asking for what they lack, begging for supply, as if heaven were reluctant to give. But the one who understands the law prays with gratitude, thanking in advance, thanking as if the thing were already theirs. And in that thanksgiving, the invisible substance of abundance takes shape in the visible world. Gratitude in advance is faith in action, and faith is the currency of miracles. When you say thank you for the wealth that is on its way, you have already called it forth into being. Gratitude is not waiting for proof. Gratitude is creating proof. Consider how the energy of a thankful heart changes the very air around you. When you rise in the morning and whisper, "Thank you for this new day. Thank you for the roof above me. Thank you for the opportunities unfolding before me," you set a magnetic field that pulls more good toward you. On the other hand, if you wake with grumbling, saying, "Nothing ever works for me, life is unfair," you set a vibration of lack and attract more of what you complain about. For the law is impartial. It simply mirrors your inner state. Gratitude is choosing the vibration of plenty, and life responds with plenty. There are people who receive millions yet remain poor in spirit because they never learned to give thanks, and so their riches slip through their fingers. But there are others who with very little feel rich every day because gratitude fills their heart, and to these the universe adds more, for to him that shall more be given. When you walk in gratitude, you declare, "I already have, I am already blessed, I am already prosperous," and life echoes back, "Yes, it is so." Here is more. Gratitude also dissolves envy and jealousy. It stops the restless comparing that makes one feel lacking. When you bless the success of another with genuine thanksgiving, saying, "Thank you for showing me what is possible," you align yourself with that same prosperity. The blessings of others then become a prophecy of your own abundance. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to possibility, and that shift opens doors where before you saw only walls. Even science now tells us that a grateful heart produces health in the body, peace in the mind, and creativity in the spirit. Gratitude lowers stress, raises joy, and releases energy that was once locked in fear. This is why gratitude multiplies wealth not only in your bank account, but in your whole life. A grateful person attracts opportunities, friendships, ideas, and favor. A grateful person becomes a light, and money, like a faithful servant, is drawn to the light. Every time you receive, no matter how small, whisper thank you. Every time you give, no matter how small, whisper thank you. And watch how life begins to shower you with more than you asked or thought possible. Gratitude creates a flow. It turns stagnation into circulation. It turns closed doors into open gates. Gratitude is not passive. It is active alchemy, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. If you desire money, miracles then begin. With gratitude for the smallest evidence of supply, bless the single dollar in your wall. Bless the cup of tea in your hand, bless the sunlight that warms your face, bless the opportunities yet unseen. And you will notice how life responds with increase, for gratitude is the voice of abundance itself, saying to the universe, I am ready, I am open, I am willing to receive. And the universe answers, here is more, here is more, here is more. So never despise the day of small beginnings, never look down on the little. For in the little lies the seed of the great. Gratitude turns water into wine, gratitude turns scarcity into overflow, gratitude turns the little into abundance. And as you cultivate this spirit day by day, you will find yourself living not in want, but in wonder, not in lack, but in limitless supply. For gratitude is the hand that draws the miracle of money into your life, and gratitude is the song that keeps it multiplying forever. Words are not idle sounds, they are living forces, they are seeds sown into the fertile soil of the universe. And each word carries within it the power to create or to destroy. The tongue is the rudder of life, it steers the ship of destiny towards safe harbors of abundance or towards storms of lack and limitation. Every word you speak about money, every declaration you utter about wealth is shaping the reality that unfolds before you. Some may dismiss words as mere speech, but those who understand the spiritual law know that words are containers of power. They carry vibration, they set in motion unseen energies that draw to you exactly what you proclaim. When you speak words of fear, lack, or worry about money, you are placing an order with the universe for more of the same. If you say money never stays with me, then indeed it will vanish like water through your fingers. If you say I can't afford this, then you bind yourself to poverty. But if you train your tongue to speak words of faith, filled expectation, then money will respond like a faithful servant rushing to obey its master. When you affirm wealth flows to me easily and endlessly, you are sending out a decree that the universe will hasten to fulfill. For life must echo back the words that are spoken with conviction. Many do not realize that their constant chatter of doubt is the very chain binding them to scarcity. They pray for money in the morning, and then all day long they speak words of defeat, canceling their own prayers with their own tongue. They ask for abundance and then declare, I don't know how I'll ever make ends meet. They ask for prosperity and then repeat, money is so hard to come by. But the universe hears not only the request, but the continuous vibration of their speech. And since the law is impartial, it returns to them exactly what they say over and over. This is why it is said, let the weak say, I am strong, not because he feels strong in the moment, but because in saying it, he calls forth strength from the invisible into the visible. Faith-filled words are not mere positive thinking, they are decrees backed by the authority of belief. They are words charged with the fire of conviction. Words spoken without faith fall flat, but words spoken with unwavering certainty vibrate with creative power. That is why the ancient truth declares, you shall decree a thing and it shall be established unto you. For the decree is not a wish, it is a command. And when spoken with faith, the whole universe bends to obey it. Think of the words you speak daily about money. Are they words of life or words of death? Are they words that call wealth closer or words that push it farther away? You may not even notice how casually you say, I can't afford this, or I'll never be rich, or money is always a struggle. Each one of these statements is a prophecy spoken into your future, but you can turn the tide by filling your mouth with faith-filled declarations. Start saying, money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. Wealth flows through me, and to me, I live in divine abundance. Every dollar I spend returns to me, multiplied. These words are not just affirmations, they are commands to the invisible substance of supply. Faith-filled words work because they reprogram not only the universe, but also your own subconscious mind. The mind is like rich soil. It does not question the seed planted. It simply grows.